What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match, and Barcelona beat Cadiz at the Spotify Camp Nou by 2-0. It was overall a fairly average performance from the blaugrana, but the most important thing yet again, 2 goals, clean sheet, and 3 points. 8 points clear at the top of La Liga, and we officially now have one hand on the league title. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen right now. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Kounde, Christensen, Eric Garcia, and Alejandro Balde, with a midfield three of De Jong, Roberto, and Xavi, and a front three of Ferran Torres, Robert Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati, with Raphinha, from Kessie, and Alec Cron coming off the bench to help the team. The first goal scored in this match on the break of halftime was scored by the captain on the night, Sergi Roberto. It was excellent work down the right hand side from Ferran Torres. He beats 3 Cadiz players, crosses into the box, Lewandowski headers, clear off the line, rebound falls to Roberto, and he puts it into the back of the net and gives Barcelona the big lead before halftime. The second goal scored in this match was also on the break before halftime, 2 minutes after Roberto got his goal, and it was scored by RL9 Robert Lewandowski. The ball was worked down the left hand side between Ansu Fati and Alejandro Balde, fell to Roberto. He makes a great driving run into the box, finds Lewandowski, touch, shoots it, bottom left hand corner, past the defender, and past Ledesma in net for Cadiz, and gave Barcelona the 2-0 lead before halftime, essentially securing all 3 points. So overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a 7 out of 10. Just a bit above average because, of course, they did play on Thursday. We got to play Thursday again. There was a few rotation. And I also don't think Barcelona were drastically poor in this match. I think they were a little bit above average. I think overall in the match, we were more average than we were above average. But with the result, with the conditions of the game as well, I have given the team a very, very generous score, in my opinion, of 7 out of 10. In the first few minutes, we were a bit dull, just trying to get the rhythm in the game. Cadiz were, pressing well. They were getting a bit forward. I think overall in the match, the possession for the game was 51% Barcelona and 49% Cadiz. That shows how much they were on the ball a lot, and they were having a few chances going forward. I think the last 20 minutes of the first half, we got on top. Cadiz did fall asleep around the 40th minute, and that's where Barcelona scored 2 goals as well. I think scoring those 2 goals before halftime already killed the game. The question was Barcelona gonna get the clean sheet? And we did. Second half, we were, on top of Cadiz the first 10-15 minutes. You expect Xavi to make some subs. He didn't. Cadiz got back into the game a little bit. Some worldies of saves from Marc Andre Ter Stegen. Xavi then brought in the subs slowly but surely. He did make the right subs, but not enough subs. He only made 3 out of his 5 substitutions. Then last few minutes, we were just trying to get the clean sheet, just defending. I think Cadiz hit the post twice, I believe. Ter Stegen made 1 big save as well. In the end, again, it's the same thing I keep saying. Good teams win when they don't perform, and we saw that today. The team went out there, clear objective, get the 3 points, and if possible, get the clean sheet. And they did both. Some players got an opportunity. We saw, Ferran Torres get an opportunity. Roberto, Eric Garcia, all 3 of them were played very, very well. It was some of the players who play on a consistent basis who were a bit down today. For example, you could say Kounde wasn't up to scratch. Alejandro Balde as well. Ansu Fati came in with the opportunity, wasn't up to scratch as well. So there was a lot of if, buts, and maybes in the team. I feel like today the team is a mixture of players who don't usually play together. But again, we know how the team chemistry in the squad right now is very, very big and very, very high at an all-time peak. And we saw that today. They went out there, got the 3 points. So honestly, I'm not really complaining. We weren't, drastically poor to the fact that we have to worry about it. It was just, when you face a team like Cadiz who are, fighting relegation, they're going to come and park the bus, which in fact they did, but they were a bit open, and we capitalized on that. In the second half, though, I would expect Barcelona to go for at least a 3rd goal for the fans at the Camp Nou. I think it was 72,000 that showed up, which is actually ridiculous, especially for a game against Cadiz as well on a Sunday evening. They went out there, got the result done, so I'm not really too fussed about it. So overall, team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a 7 out of 10. Let's now get into the players' individual player ratings, where I go and I rank every single player's performance on a scale of 1 to 10, with 6 being the average. Firstly, of course, in goal, Marc Andre Ter Stegen. I'm going to be giving Ter Stegen tonight an 8 out of 10. Made some world-class saves in the second half, but most importantly, passing off the back was very, very good. But also, what I thought he did very well tonight was command the box. We saw in the first half, he was a bit upset with the referee when Cadiz shouldn't have gotten a corner kick. Corner came in, punched it away. The other swinging cross came in, punched it away, demanding his box. He had a lot of punches today from corner kicks, also from free kicks as well. Made some worldies of saves as well. Passing up in the back was sublime as per usual. And now we're starting to see, I think slowly but surely, the captain in Ter Stegen, who's commanding a lot of the team during the final few minutes of the game as well. Last 20 minutes, telling players where to position, all that sort of stuff. So we're seeing that captain coming out of Ter Stegen. And again, another great performance from him. Clean sheet as well. That's now 17 clean sheets in 22 games in La Liga. We have broken the record from Deportivo La Coruña. This has now been the most clean sheets up until this point of the season by any team in the league's history. Fantastic record to have. Ter Stegen has that, and he'll also have an 8 out of 10 from me tonight. Now for center back partnership, firstly on the right hand side, it was Andreas Christensen. I will be giving Christensen tonight an 8 out of 10. I don't even know what to say. I still cannot believe we signed him for free. My man is absolutely unbelievable. The tackles that he was making this game were sublime beyond belief. I mean, we're talking about last ditch tackles, goal blocking shots. His passing out from the back was fantastic as well. Like I've been saying for the past few months, I'll say it again, I feel so damn safe if one of Christensen or Araujo is at center back. I think them two together is one of the best center back partnerships in the world. And I think, you know, when Kounde comes to center back next season, hopefully if we sign a quality right back in the summer, I think that can overtop it. But just having Christensen in this team is absolutely unbelievable. What a defender he is. I mean, I don't even think he put a foot wrong today. I thought he was absolutely superb, and tonight he'll be getting an 8 out of 10 from me. Now, center back partner on the left-hand side was Eric Garcia, and I'm also giving Eric Garcia an 8 out of 10. And dare I say, I think Garcia played at the same level, if not better, than Christensen tonight. I thought Garcia in that first half an hour was world class. The amount of last ditch tackles, the block of the passes to prevent the through balls. He was attracting fouls to himself as well. He got Roger Marti on a yellow card. He just looks so comfortable. It looks like he plays every single week in, week out. And these are the players you want to see in the squad on a regular basis, who don't play too often, but when they come in and play when they come in and have their opportunity and play, it's like they've been there every single week. And that's what we saw from Eric Garcia tonight. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Defending was absolutely immaculate. And for me tonight, he'll be getting an 8 out of 10. Into the fullbacks now. Firstly, Jules Kounde at right back. I'll be giving Jules tonight a 7 out of 10. I thought he played pretty well. I think a lot of the attacks for Cadiz came down the Alejandro Balde side of the pitch. Not too much on the Kounde side of the pitch. After his absolute stinker against United midweek, he's come back at right back and he's put in a shift. I think now we're starting to realize that with the current players that we have in system, Kounde's best position is at right back. I think at center back he needs a lot of matches to get back in that center back mindset, because of course at right back it's a completely different game, completely different story. I think he played well, got forward a bit, didn't really connect well with Ferran Torres down the right hand side. There are a lot of moments when they're trying to choose, but one player would run, the other player wouldn't, and vice versa. But of course that comes with inconsistencies as Ferran Torres has not played too much. But I think on the defensive aspect of the game, Kounde played well, so overall I would be giving him a 7 out of 10. Now left back, it was of course Alejandro Balde. I will be giving Alejandro tonight a 6 out of 10, probably I would say 6.5, but just not enough to give him a 7. I think Cadiz did target Alejandro Balde quite a bit. I think he defended very, very well, but I think going forward, I want to see a bit better from Alejandro. He had a few touches that were heavy. He would do a right movement, he'd cut inside, touches too heavy. He'd, make a cross block, make a cross too much power. He had a shot, I believe, in the first half as well that went way over, but if you just controlled it a bit, maybe it could have gone on target. So I think just in the attacking aspect of the game, Alejandro today wasn't up to the paces that I would expect from him, but defensively I think he still put in the shift. And there were a lot of opportunities where he could be making a driving run. We see him do that a lot this season, but in this game he was a bit hesitant. He passed one player, then just passed it instead of he can keep going, keep making that run, get to the final third, create a counterattack. But he was a bit conservative today. So overall, Balde, I don't think he played too poorly, so I will give him a 6 out of 10. Into the midfield now. Firstly, Frankie de Jong in the pivot position. I will give Frankie tonight a 7 out of 10. just another fantastic performance, nice and steady, did what he had to do, don't think he made a mistake whatsoever. Yellow card that he did pick up was very harsh. It was on a trailing arm, barely touched his face, player goes down, so the referee books him. I understand that, but I think Frankie did play well, tracing the ball very well between the midfield to the attack and also the defense to the attack as well. Made some great runs. He made a lot of long balls as well that were always pinpoint. I have no real complaints. Typical Frankie performance. I think he's really growing in that pivot, and next season when we see him playing the pivot more frequently will be a big test whether or not we can rely on him for the long-term future or not. I think he played very well. Give him a solid 7 out of 10. Next up on the left hand side of the midfield, it was the capitano of the night, Sergi Roberto. And I kind of have to give Roberto an 8. I was going to give him, I think a 7 would be based on his performance, but got a goal and assist, so you have to bump him up, I think, 1 rating to an 8. I think in that first half, he was not too bad. I think the first 15-20 minutes, a lot of sideways, a lot of backward passes, but in those last 15-10 minutes of the first half, he was getting forward a lot, making those runs. Of course, got a goal, created a goal. And the second half, again, was a bit conservative, but did make a lot of runs forward. He had some great 1-2 plays with Xavi, I do believe, and also Ferran Torres. He's making runs. We saw this video come out of him against United being very poor and sloppy with his passing. There was always an open runner. I think in this game, there was a very minor improvement. He did look sometimes at the forward runners, but mostly did passes sideways and backwards. But based on the performance and based, of course, on the goal and assist, I think I have to give Roberto an 8. But I think based on his performance alone, I would have given him a 7 out of 10. And finally, on the right-hand side of the midfield, it was, of course, Xavi, and I will be giving Xavi tonight a 7 out of 10. The only disappointing factor of tonight's game is that Xavi did not get a yellow card. I mean, I would absolutely love him to get suspended against Almeria away, have a United and Almeria have a nice little week and a half off, get fully rested, recuperated for the big push in the 3 Clásicos coming up. He didn't get a yellow, and now if he gets a yellow against Almeria, he could be suspended for the Clásico and all this stuff. It's all going to be all over the place. He should have got a yellow in this game, but he didn't. I think he played well. I think in that first half, he connected very well with Lewandowski, with Ferran Torres, with Roberto, with Ansu. He was, almost the conductor of the game with no Pedri being involved in the match. Second half, he was, I have to touch on this again. His pressing is just so elite, and the engine that he has is just astonishing. I don't understand how he's running. He'll lose the ball, run back, get the ball, run back and make another counterattack. His friend would lose the ball, he runs back and gets it. Gavi's a player that every team would hate coming up against, but a player that every single team in the world would take in a heartbeat. He is an absolute generational talent. I thought he played very well today, and I will be giving him a 7 out of 10. Into the forwards now. Firstly, RL9, Robert Lewandowski in the number 9 position. I will give Lewa tonight a 7 out of 10. Should have got another goal. Remember that chip that was onside? He should have scored that. I think there was another goal in him in this game, which he didn't get. I think, again, build-up play was great. Licking up the wingers to the run-up play, attracting those defenders, create spaces for the other players as well. It's been very consistent by playing well, but just not getting a goal. But tonight, finally got his goal for the first time in the Camp Nou in a very long time. I got to sing his song as well, which is great. And this perfect time to get a goal ahead of the big games coming up in the Clásico and also against United in the Europa League. But again, I'm going to give him a 7. Typical performance from Robert Lewandowski. I would have probably give him a 6 if he didn't get the goal, but with the goal, give him a 7. My only criticism is that he should have gotten another goal at some point in the game. He did miss a few chances in the first half, then had that clear-cut chip, I think, in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. So he should have got another one, but overall, decent performance from him, and I will be giving him a 7 out of 10. Next up at left wing, it was, of course, Ansu Fati. I will give Ansu tonight a 6 out of 10. We saw him get subbed off. He, was punching the chair again, just like what Raphinha did against United. So you can tell these players care. You can tell there's frustration there, which of course I, welcome in. I admire as well that he wants to play well. I think this is the story of Ferran that we talked about a few months ago. A few months ago, we said about Ferran, everything that he does from the build-up play to the final third, he does well, but just can't finish. I think we saw a lot of that from Ansu Fati today. I think he played very well in the sense that he carried the ball a lot. He had some nice flicks and nice tricks. He was connected very well with Gabi, even Alejandro. They're doing overlapping runs, 1-2s. But just when he gets in the final third, he had some heavy touches in the first half. Volley came in, I think in the first half, he missed it. Another volley came in the second half, he missed it. Like he mistimed it. So there's a bit of a lack of rhythm in Ansu Fati's game, and that's the main concern at the moment. But all he needs is just game time. This is the problem with Xavi is that Xavi will start him for one game, don't play for 2, bring him on for like 5 minutes in one game and then start him out all over again. He needs like rhythm. So against United, bring him on for 10 minutes, start him against Almeida. In the Clasico, bring him on for 15. He has to keep getting on the pitch. When you leave him out for a week or so, it does affect his game in my opinion. But I think overall tonight wasn't too poor, but he was average nonetheless, and I will give him a 6 out of 10. And last but not the least is my man of the match, and of course at right wing, Ferran Torres. I will be giving him tonight an 8 out of 10. Thought he was absolutely fantastic. I think he completed like 10 or 11 dribbles, something ridiculous like that. And this is what I want to see from a Barcelona winger. We see Dembele. This is the thing. Dembele does this every single game, is to attack the defense. When you pick up the ball, if you don't have a passer, take on the defense, create spaces, rely on your individual brilliance. And we saw a lot today from Ferran. Didn't get a goal, which is disappointing, but did create the first goal. It was all by himself. And we saw what I want to see in a Barcelona winger, which is, of course, to make those chances and attack the defense. I think Raphinha is doing this a lot over the past few weeks. He hasn't done that much in the first few months of the season, but over the past month, he has been doing it at a consistent basis. That's all you need. Just, be yourself, attack the defense, rely on your individual quality, because that's what you have as a forward. When you're in the forward, like Pep always says, the famous quote, "My job as a coach is to bring the team from the defense to the final third," but once you're at the final third, it's up to you. It's on individual brilliance. It's on your chance if you can smell the goal or not, or create it. And we saw Ferran Torres excel in the final third tonight, and that's what made his performance so good. Tonight I will give him an 8 out of 10, and hopefully more performances like this from Ferran to come. Now for the substitutions, the subs were Franck Kessie, Raphinha, and Alecron. That is it. I think Frankie de Jong, Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati came off. I mean, they all came on past the 75th minute. I think, well, Franck Kessie did get a yellow, but again, it was another trailing arm thing, whatever. I mean, I'm going to give them all a 6. Like, I don't even think Alecron touched the ball once. I know Raphinha picked up the ball a few times, same with Franck Kessie as well. They literally just came on just to provide rest to Frankie and Ansu and Lewandowski as well. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'll give them all a 6 out of 10, really. And last but not the least is, of course, the manager, Xavi Hernandez, who tonight I'll be giving an average 6 out of 10. Thought his lineup was good. I was shocked to see Kounde starting yet again. Another 90 minutes for Kounde again. Frankie de Jong starting as well, but he did make some rotation. Again, we got the win. Got the 3 points, 2 goals, clean sheet. It also comes down to Xavi as well. We didn't play, particularly well throughout the whole entire 90 minutes. We had a few spells, of course. The performance was just a bit above average. But the reason why I think Xavi's rating is so low tonight is his damn substitutions. I mean, I'm sick and tired of it. You have a full squad. You only make 3 substitutions. Where's Pablo Torre? You could have brought on Jordi Alba. You could have given Busquets a few, run out before he comes out against United. The subs are so late as well. I think the 3 subs that he did make, I had no problem with. I would have brought on Kessie for Frankie. No problem with that. Raphinha for Lewandowski. I applaud him. I would have kept Ferran and Ansu on. The subs are so late as well. I get it. You're a bit under the cost. You don't want to risk it. Then Cadiz score. Then you're throwing your hands up. I think I should have delayed the subs. I understand that. But 75th minute, come on. Bring them on 65, 70. Give them a proper run out. This is why some players lack confidence and morale, in my opinion. They come on for 3 minutes and then nothing happens. So I think Xavi really needs to work on his substitution and also a bit on his in-game management as well. But overall, I got the job done tonight. Can't really, complain too much. So I will give him a 6 out of 10. So that was my match review for Barcelona versus Cadiz in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. And of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want to know firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.